Welcome to the silliest thing I saw this week. My name is Dave Pyper, and we are presented by Vuori, makers of the most comfortable and soft activewear on the planet. Check out VuoriClothing.com/Harris for 20% off your first order, or wait until later in the show to hear more about Vuori. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning your dials to the silliest thing. I hope everyone had a safe holiday weekend, and it seems like Diontae Johnson had a little bit of a Thanksgiving hangover on Sunday morning. Thanks to Greg Nelson for this one. Here on 3rd and 2, Johnson fails to hang on to a touchdown pass, and on the very next play, here we can see he doesn't seem to care about what's going on the field. Jaylen Warren coughs up the ball, and Diontae has no idea the ball is even out. I mean, Johnson's shockingly close to this fumble and does absolutely nothing. And check out Kenny Pickett. He walks up to Mike Hilton and asks him, what do you think? Because it looked like Warren might have been down. He wasn't. This was a fumble. But looking at the all-22 makes Johnson look even worse because he certainly could have got a hand on this ball from where he was standing. And Diontae wasn't the only thing malfunctioning in Cincinnati on Sunday. There was a game clock issue that head referee Brad Rogers had to sort out.
We have a clock malfunction. We're trying to get them sequenced.
Apparently the clocks on the sidelines and the clocks in the end zones weren't syncing up right. Here's Rogers explaining the issue.
The clocks on the ribbon at the end of the field are working correctly. These two are malfunctioning. If there's any way to shut those two off, please do it. Thank you.
And what was really special was Ian Eagle and Charles Davis's commitment to commentary.
And now someone has to take care of it.
And he is detailed in it too. This one works. Yep. These two don't. Let's get on it right now.
He's delegating this. This is not something he can do himself. He's telling those that can do to go do it.
Yeah, he's delegating, but with an air of authority.
No doubt.
It's not just a, hey, can you do it? It's get it done.
These guys are legitimately breaking down announcements from the officials, and it seems like they have a lot of respect for referee Brad Rogers. And while we're talking about the refs, we may as well talk about this confusing moment from the Texans-Jaguars game. Late in the first half, we have a false start, and as Jacksonville's lining up on the ball, the referees blow the whistle again. And after a few moments of confusion, we get this little number from Clay Martin.
Apologize, that was an administrative stoppage. It's 3rd down, the clock will start on my signals.
We accept the apology from Clay Martin.
To be honest, I'm not sure I've heard of an administrative stop before, but I appreciate Clay being a gentleman and apologizing for wasting 15 seconds of our lives. Staying with the announcer theme this week, Sunday Night Football got a shot of awkward when Chris Collinsworth took a week off, and NBC thought Jason Garrett could fill his seat. I mean, look at those eyes and that grin. Not creepy in the slightest. Garrett ruined this moment.
But a hang time, it's sunset time. The best time out here in Southern California. Very nice.
And thank you to Wisco Grant for getting this clip. It wasn't available on the replay. But for the boldest thing that Garrett said throughout the night was this comment about his co-anchor, Maria Taylor.
All right, Maria, thank you. I'm sure they missed you terribly in the studio
That's
today.
my buddy Maria there.
That's right. Sims was happy to get rid of you.
Yeah,
you know that.
I know he was. I'm happy to get rid of him. Maria looks great, doesn't she?
Devin and Maria back there in the studio.
I love how Mike Tirico doesn't touch it. Well, he kind of touches it, actually. You can kind of hear him start to say definitely, and then remembers where he is, and then he just states facts.
Maria looks great, doesn't she?
Devin and Maria back there in the studio.
Maria is indeed in the studio. Each and every week, I am proud to say Vuori is the sponsor of this show, not only because their clothes are made with recycled material, or because they are committed to sustainable practices that seek to benefit the environment, but because the clothes are just so unbelievably comfortable. I can legitimately say that I love their clothes. I love how much my wife loves their clothes. Real story, when my wife got home from the hospital, she was jazzed up to be able to fit back into her long sleeve Halo Crew, which is one of her favorite snuggly sweatshirts. In fact, if you want to see my wife in her Vuori digs, let me know in the comments, and I will try to convince her to strut her stuff. And if you've made it this far, you probably like the show. And if you want the show to keep going for years to come, head over to VuoriClothing.com/Harris for 20% off your first order. And that will let them know that we sent you. And then maybe they'll keep sponsoring my silly little show. Thank you, Vuori. And a little extra for you. Everybody who makes it this far gets a little extra. I feel like we haven't featured Jameis Winston nearly enough this year. This week at halftime of the Falcons game, Ludacris came down from the ceiling and performed some of his greatest hits. And we were lucky enough to catch Jameis Winston getting into the vibe and rapping to Derek Carr. How do you not love this guy? I vow to always make as much Jameis Winston content as possible. And I'm glad you guys stuck around to see this. Hopefully next week I'll be able to provide more Jameis Winston content. I will see you guys next week.
Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.